I like to get out of town. I like to travel. That was one of the big parts of the appeal for me.
I was coming off of a high of being on the road for 2 years and wanted to continue.
You guys helped me mark off some parts of America I would never have gone unless I was on that show.
It was kind of like a little window where I didn't have anything going on. I was like, oh, I'd be interested in gaffing this. It was like, I tell you what, if I can get my friend Brett to do it and to come on me with it, I'll probably do it.
A couple people were friends with people, but like as a whole, it was kind of like 12 strangers get in a van and they go across the country to make the movie. It was kind of there was a little bit of that.
Just being on the road raised the stakes so much, and discovering the country for my first time. I'd never been to the Grand Canyon. I'd never.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And being completely away from my normal.
Not really. I had a great time. I really thought almost the entire time it was super fun. Some days were fucking ridiculously hot. Some days were mosquito-y and buggy, and
it was like, you just gotta dive right in. Like, you don't know how to drive this truck? Too bad. It doesn't matter. You gotta just like dive right into this scene.
I was going through a really, really horrible time. And then I just pushed pause, fly out to Mississippi, and whatever happens, happens. It was like I was in a different part of my life.
Thrasher Road, I have like a lot of fond memories from that trip. And I think it just comes from like the smallness of the crew and working together, just so intimate. And traveling, you kind of go through struggles together, and I think it just brings you closer. And I learned a lot too.
I have this picture, and every time I see it, I always think about it, like, that is the vibe of the show right there. Like, you have like this pivotal moment going on in the movie, and we're waiting for the right time of day to do it.
We're finding ourselves together in that dance with nature and the sense of place.
Grab the camera, grab the sound, grab the actors. This is a good time to do it. Great time of day. Look at it out here. It's magnificent. How could we possibly screw this up? Small movies, it's easier to take more of a risk. Like Another Time in Kansas. Like, did you see that grain silo back there? That was pretty cool. To have that kind of freedom. It's just so hard to plan that stuff.
Just moving people around, like the vehicles.
Right, reactive, left, non-reactive.
And then the equipment. It became much bigger than what we had imagined.
SAG also took that to another level.
Yeah.
The dog.
Oh, the dog.
And understanding, okay, we're going to be crossing time zones and we're going to be moving along, and we need to document the hours worked for all of this, but we don't want to go into overtime.
I just had that intuitive sense of there was a window opening that I didn't know whether that would ever happen again. And in retrospect, I feel like that was true. I'm just feeling so grateful for the moment that we had, and that you all just decided to say yes and go with me on that. And that's what fed me. Like, every time I was terrified, which was like several times every day.
Really?
It was very magical. The whole movie was magical, and even the filming and the final product of it too. It meant more to me than just making the movie, that you wanted to make, but it was also like my own voyage during that time, where I think about like how this movie and what was going on in my life at that time kind of relate to some degree.
So much that hit so close to home.
When you choose to take reality and just dismantle it and go out and create another one out of your imagination, what happens outside of the frame, it changes everything else too.
The universe works in strange ways, you know what I mean? That all the pieces kind of came together.